Well, I'm getting a little concerned about jersey patches on college football uniforms or the lack thereof. And Barry, based on the early results from the River Region Straw chat line, so are our viewers and listeners so far today.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. And I like to play a little game between the end of one of our live shows and the beginning of the next. That is, what will John lead with tomorrow? And this was a no-brainer, and I agree with him. First, a little story, a little setup here.
Let me get my coffee closer. Go right ahead.
Most of the issues, trends, phenomena of college football particularly are judged on this program by my co-host as, well, you ain't seeing Notre Dame do it. You know, hey, should we do this or should we do that or whatever? Well, Notre Dame ain't doing it. You ain't seeing that happening in South Bend and all that. Well, as though that is the be-all, end-all barometer over what should and should not occur in college football. One of the latest, not issues, but one of the latest phenomena that we've seen in college football is the adoption and sale of a patch on the jerseys. We mentioned the other day that Ohio State is going to make something like $17 million a year from whoever it is, and they're going to have a little jersey patch on every Buckeye student athlete who plays anything. Women's tennis, jersey patch. Volleyball, football, all of that, jersey patch. Well, so, you know, does it feel like it's coming? Well, again, look. If Notre Dame ain't doing it, then it doesn't need to be done. Well, yesterday, Notre Dame and SoFi Technologies, that's the one who I believe named the stadium in Los Angeles.
How much it cost to build that stadium? Billion or so.
Billion plus.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and SoFi Technologies have agreed to a 6-year jersey patch agreement that also makes the company the Irish's official financial services partner. According to Yahoo's Ross Dellinger, the deal is expected to bring in an average of $18 to $20 million annually. Plus, the collaboration will establish an annual fund to advance Notre Dame's for Forever promise, which will support all student athletes through scholarships, financial education, career development, and exclusive opportunities.
I think, Barry, that's based on the 4-leaf clover. Notre Dame has
I thought it was like 4 years, and Notre Dame will take care of you forever.
Yeah, well, if you win some games in a natty, they certainly
if you
will.
only win 4 games, you're gone forever.
You're out.
The
Dan Devine.
The Irish are in the jersey patch business now. The
like it or not,
has frozen over, all that.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, tick, tick, tick. That's going to be happening real soon.
Ohio State,
and Alabama,
multi-million-dollar deal. Notre Dame, the famous Golden Domers. Now they'll mix in a green every now and then and a dark navy blue.
As much as $20 million a year for wearing a small patch. Sign me up.
Now,
I mean, if for $20 million a year, I can't remember the name of that thing, Nicoderm, that stop smoking thing, they'll actually have them wearing a Nicoderm patch.
Hey, money will make people do some interesting things.
That's not the only thing, but money is one of those things that'll make people do something crazy.
We're not doing that. Well, how many if we pay you $17 million? Now we're interested.
Yes.
man, we might be willing to do it.
We're never going to do this at my school because we have standards. Here's $20 million. We're in.
We're in.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm telling you.
I don't know this, and I will say,
Alabama fans,
I do think it's coming. I do. I don't know what the holdup is, or they're waiting for some special day and time to make an announcement. A couple of other schools, I think you mentioned yesterday, Arkansas and LSU already have deals in place. I got to think Auburn's working on this as well. I mean, it's all about revenue stream. You know, the main reason Auburn's playing their opener in Atlanta, revenue. So I got to think Auburn's looking at a deal amongst others. But I don't see it stopping at a patch. I mean, okay, you got a patch on your jersey. You got a logo on the field. I still, no disrespect, not real sure what the logo in Tuscaloosa is on Saban Field last year. I think it has a military connection, but I'm just not the top of mind awareness, which is huge in the world of marketing and advertising. You want your customers to boom. I know that. I don't know that. But
I'm not even sure it's a retail business. I'm not even sure the people who are in the stands can say, hey, we want to support that company that has that thing on there. How do I maybe they build battleships. I don't know. Well, can I buy a battleship?
Yeah, I guess good. I don't know. It just doesn't, jump off the page. But you got to think these things are in motion. Stadium naming rights. I thought about that. What about the Pillsbury Bryant-Denny Stadium at Saban Field? I'm just using, the Pillsbury Doughman. I don't know why that popped into my head, but you know what I mean? Just
Wilkin Formby's gone, man. Wilkin Formby has gone elsewhere.
But who's to say that it'll stop there? Oh, you can't add a corporate sponsor to the most famous stadium named Bryant-Denny. Yeah, you can. Yeah. If the money's right, you certainly can do that.
Well, this year in week 2, September 12th, Alabama is going to be playing at Kroger Field. University of Kentucky used to be Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah.
It's been Kroger Field for 9 years. The Carrier Dome at Syracuse, not anymore. It's the JMA Wireless Dome. Albertson Stadium. I've called a game from there. Boise, Idaho. There's Penn State. Beaver Stadium, not anymore. It's West Shore Home Field at Beaver Stadium. I'm just telling you, Ohio State has Value City Arena for basketball. There's the basketball, I can't think of the name of it, at the University of South Carolina has that. Guys, you need to stop clutching your pearls out there. He says, we'll never do that. We don't need to do that. Have you taken a look at the financials of what kind of NIL is being thrown around by schools in the SEC? You do need that. I promise.
There again, I don't know the timing. I don't know if they're still working on something. I don't know if they have a deal in place and they're just waiting to announce it at the proper time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think, Barry, a program like Alabama's that is in the SEC and the television ratings are really good every time they get on the screen, and they got a basketball program that's been to the Sweet 16, Final 8, and Final 4 in the last 5 years, you would think sponsors would be flocking to get their logo on a jersey or a venue or a stadium or a field in Tuscaloosa. Not saying it's not happening. I'm hearing people go, well, why didn't Mercedes put their logo on the jersey? Well, makes sense. Mercedes plant's right up the road.
The field's named after a stockholder and a franchise holder.
Multiple dealership owner of that brand. So I there again, I don't know how that all goes about. And I'm surprised there's more teams in the league that haven't done it other than Arkansas and LSU to this point.
Well, I think, there's no doubt what you're saying. I would imagine that if Greg Byrne opened up his door for an hour just to hear from corporate entities who want a patch on the Alabama football jersey, he'd have a line out the door. Yeah. But what you don't want to do is undervalue it. All right, What do you bid? Oh, I'm hearing this from this guy. What you want to do is get maximum dollar for that. And I think that's all that they're doing. And do I love it? No, I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. And I find it really hard to believe two things. Number one, that there are people who are absolutely up in arms. We do not need to desecrate our jersey. There's 100 years of tradition and in those jerseys, and we don't need them sullied. I know there are people like that out there. But are you telling me that you're going to forsake your fandom, your support of this football program because they have a small patch the size of a playing card on the jersey? Are you that shallow and that shaky of a fan that you say, well, I'm not doing it anymore?
Yeah. Do you want to keep up with the big boys, so to speak? Because the money is driving everything, and you can't have that type of attitude. We can do it without it. Okay, see how that works out for you. I mean, I've even gone as far before. There again, don't know this, but it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, we want you to do this patch deal, and you know what? We'd like for you to have a game or two where you do something a little different with the uniform. Ooh, I don't know about that. Well, here's an extra $10 million to do it.
Okay,
we're in.
Yeah, we're in. Absolutely. Okay. You can get creative. We're talking about a patch. We're talking about stadium naming rights. If the money's right, they would put a hologram of Bear Bryant, like the hologram they had in Star Wars when they're trying to figure out where Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anyway,
yep.
A hologram of Bear Bryant leaning against a goalpost, and with saying "I ain't nothing but a winner," and then have a little hologram right above him that says "Golden Flake."
Yeah,
the snack food of the SEC or whatever. I mean, think outside the box, people.
Sure. Unfortunately, we don't have South Central Bell anymore, and he couldn't say, I wish I could call my mama today, but I get what you're saying. Barry, I'm with you. In people that get letters from Yay, Alabama, or what's it over to Auburn, the Greater Auburn Fund, or
Auburn Ignited or something.
Ignited. They don't want to be getting letters from the athletic director saying, hey, we need you to kind of dig deeper in those pockets. Well, wait a minute. Just put a patch on the jersey.
If you do
field, put the stadium up for bid. Come on.
If you do send a letter to the Yay Alabama NIL Fund, it might be a couple of days before he gets back in the office. We can answer him. But the you can make your stand if you want to. You can be true to your morals. I do not. Would Pooley Hubert have ever worn that patch? Would you ever? I just could not see Johnny Musso with a patch on his jersey. Well, you ain't going to see any guys like Johnny Musso on the football field. We just lost John's microphone for some reason. But
did the old guard really like seeing tearaway jerseys? Here's a guy running down the field. The jersey's all ripped up and torn, and it doesn't look good, and it's out of place, and it's not tucked in. I'm sure there were some people screaming about that in the early 70s.
There are athletic administrators, CFOs of athletics departments, who are saying, who are doing their due diligence and saying, all right, this company's bidding this. What are you bidding? Okay, you're bidding that. What is this company bidding? Trying to get the absolute last dollar they can before they pull the trigger and put a patch on the jersey. The other thing is they look to see, man, we don't want to be the first.
Yeah,
we don't buy the foot because that makes it look like we're the ones that are desperate. Oh, Notre Dame just did it. All right, Notre Dame is the big cheese, the head honcho, the big enchilada in this deal. If Notre Dame is putting a patch on their jerseys, and they are, then nobody's going to question you, or as much.
Jerry, I'm going to
put one on yours.
I'm going to question Auburn and Alabama if they kick it off on September the 5th and don't have a patch on their jersey. I'm going to be saying, what are y'all doing? Well, what's going on over there? Why do these two programs that are very well known not have some corporate sponsor's patch on their jersey?
Is it because you're not working hard enough to identify these people? Is it because your fans demand that you don't, to the tune of losing out on $15-16 million a year? Or is it just that your brand's not that valuable and nobody's interested in putting a patch on it? It could be a bunch of different things.
Barry, I thought about this. if Nick Saban was still walking the sidelines in Tuscaloosa, I got to think companies would be on their hands and knees trying to get a sponsorship with that team. Not saying that isn't going on now, but I don't think it's maybe people are as eager maybe as they would have been if Saban was still the head man.
That's a thing. That's out there. That is, again, way offsides, Jeff. Great point on the chat line. He says European soccer teams have been making dollars from this forever. And for some of those old geezers, that's good enough reason not to do it. Man, those Euros are doing it. Man, that's something they do over there for that swishy soccer jazz they got going on, playing in their short pants or whatever.
Yeah.
So there is that. It's just, now, Joe, I love your ideas. Hong Kong King Buffet number 2 needs to going up. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're out of business.
Yeah, probably for a reason. But I like the ideas. I like the suggestions that are out there. Chris the Bammer, our self-appointed producer emeritus, says it's time for a break. Let's take one.
Well, thank you, Chris. I was looking at the clock, too. I appreciate that. Hey, CJ Duncan in about 14 minutes from Yellowhammer News. Always enjoy having CJ give us his thoughts about what's going on in sports. Top of hour number 2, our friend Paul Feinbaum from ESPN and the SEC Network. Had a long talk with Paul down in Tampa last week. And I said, we'll get you on after Media Days to kind of have a post-SEC Media Days recap and maybe touch a little on the Big Ten's Media Days as well, which is going on in Chicago. And some news was made there yesterday. We'll touch on that when we return.
Yeah, the clock's ticking. 8 o'clock this morning is the deadline for the SEC and Big Ten to submit their position on the Protect College Sports Act revisions. Not sure that's going to happen. No. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. 19 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and do it now. Tell your friends and family and associates to hit it as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Really appreciate it. Helps us out a lot, and it's much appreciated, as I've mentioned. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com, the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. So many ways to check us out. I know people run it through their Bluetooth in their car that listen to us as well. So it's so easy. We greatly appreciate it. We do it live every weekday morning from 7 to 9 a.m., and then it's out there for you to consume on your schedule. Watch, listen, view, do both. But that's the great thing about this format. You check it out when it's convenient for you. None of this, hey, we're on at this time, and if you miss it, hate it for you. Nope, we're here for you all the time.
Yeah, I had somebody saying, hey, man, could you replay that interview y'all did with Tony Barnhart? Man, that was great. I know you can look at it right now if you want to.
Heck yeah.
Why should we replay it? It's there. Just hunt it up, and it's right there. This is what we're talking about. I mean, everybody clear your minds, open-minded here. This is what we're talking about. For what did we say? $18 million a year. This is it. This is all we're talking about. For $18 million. See that little patch up there that says Chase Bank?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Courtesy of Ross Dellinger, Yahoo Sports. That's it. You put that on all of your jerseys, $18 million.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's not like it's overbearing.
No
I mean,
kidding.
it's there. You'll notice it. Wow. Yeah. And every time I see that Chase logo, am I going to automatically think about Ohio State? Probably so.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the deal. So, imagine this. Bill from Baltimore says, imagine someone puts a patch on the jersey and says, we want an orange one sometime. Could that be, you give Auburn $16 million a year to put whatever, Yellowwood or Apple or some of the ones that Auburn's associated with, Byron Smokehouse. And he says, all right, part of it, we'll give you an extra $500,000 if you put an orange jersey out there.
Yeah.
Would Auburn draw the line in the sand there and say, we'll put the patch on, nothing else?
Our logo is this color scheme, but we'd like for you to wear an orange jersey, and we're going to kind of mix up our color scheme and make it navy blue on your orange jersey because we really want it to stick out. We really want it to get noticed this one or two times a year. Man, look at this. Well, that's different, but hey, that's marketing. That's how they grab your attention. Maybe that looks different. That's shiny and new. Ooh, I got to have that. Don't think marketing people don't think like that because they do.
Yeah. Hey, John, how about you wear this polo shirt with our station logo on it? That was the response. See? What you're seeing is an accurate portrayal of the response John gave. I mean, I'd do it. I wore it.
Yeah.
John would be like, and then what was it? Years later, they said, hey, you got to buy the shirt too.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Wait a minute. You want me to spend my money to promote you? No, not going to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that and not going to the Christmas party maybe is what started our somewhat cold relationship, for almost 30 years. But anyway.
Rex says, should Auburn be sponsored by a moped?
Oh, I can think of a lot of good.
Yes, he probably could. Crystal's
Smoothie
lot.
King. Yeah, Bill, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Smoothie King, right? They get Smoothie King to sponsor all.
Yeah, As part of the multi-million-dollar deal, unlimited smoothies.
Yeah. I wonder what Philip would think about all this, Barry. What would he be writing about? Corporate patches, naming rights. Missed that guy. Well, I don't know if you've checked out any Big Ten media days. Brett Bielema has run his mouth talking about the SEC thinks they're living in 2005. Well, what did Bielema do in the SEC? Did he ever do anything? I mean, I'm trying to think what big time opponent did they ever beat when he was here? He's running his mouth. But I will say this, Barry. Texas plays Ohio State. Oklahoma plays Michigan in week 2 of this season.
Right.
I think it sure would go a long way for this league if those two teams could beat their Big Ten opponent that week. Because if they don't, They're really jumping on. Well, look at this SEC. Michigan and Ohio State took care of business in week 2. This league is faltering.
Brett Bielema, 29-34 in 5 seasons at Arkansas.
Yeah.
11-29 in the league. His first year at Arkansas in conference play, they went 0-8. And his last year at Arkansas in 2017, they went 1-7. So they only got 1 game better in 5 years.
Yeah.
And
he's
talking
running his
smack
mouth
about the SEC.
Does anybody know where he's coaching? Illinois? Really?
Yep.
I mean, really? Illinois?
Red Grange has been dead for 70 years. And they were pretty good last year, but not good enough for him to say that. He is plus the SEC. It wasn't that great in 2005, if I remember correctly. But what he's talking about is, the SEC still thinks they're the poop, and they've got they've got the world on a string, and here we are. We've actually kicked their behinds in the college football playoff and 3 straight championships and all that. And it's maddening. But I have not detected a lie out of any of that.
Tobias, interesting River Region Straw chat line conversation here about the jersey patch.
Alabama needs to get a jersey patch from a national brand like Mercedes-Benz, Wells Fargo, Audi, or American Airlines. Golden Flake isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, Golden Flake's a regional brand. I owned an Audi. It was the worst car I ever had. I don't think they want to be affiliated with that. I mentioned Mercedes right down the road.
Dodge Charger? I don't know.
Yeah.
I love me a Dodge Charger.
Delta Airlines is already a sponsor of Georgia Athletics. If you ever see Kirby's headset, it's got the Delta logo on it. In the press conferences, their logo's on the signage. I don't know how big of a sponsorship it is, but it's the only airline I know of that's sponsoring an SEC school. To me, Mercedes would be a good, because there again, it's connection with Tuscaloosa.
Well,
but yeah, I'd see where you're working. A large bank, a large automotive manufacturer, something like that. Yeah.
Maybe secondary patches. I mean, you limit yourself to one. A national brand. Mercedes-Benz, Wells
you go
Fargo.
Driver suit. I mean, I don't think they want to deck him out that much.
A regional brand like Golden Flake, a local brand like Bojo's Rims or
T-Town's
menswear.
I don't think it's around anymore.
Yeah, okay. I mean, can you
I
have
see
2
you
or 3
working
of them?
How
Because I
about
remember Bama fans got mad whenever they put the Nike swoosh.
Oh, yeah.
And you had the SEC pennant, and you had, I don't know, something else.
I mean, they could have Knicks in the sticks, a little patch of that, and, Gillettes and
Arity's Angels.
Yeah, all the iconic places there in T-Town.
Believe me, Arity's Angels played a part in one of the most positive developments in Alabama football history. You cannot undersell the role they played in getting, Nick Saban to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of options with local, but I don't know if they can afford that, and I don't know if it would be worth their while because the patch would be so small. But there again, you never say never, but you don't want to see football uniforms looking like NASCAR drivers. So I don't know. It is an interesting topic. I know people are very sensitive about it in terms of jerseys and altering the jersey, and you don't want to get too crazy with it. There's some businesses out there. We talked about this years ago when they built the dome out in Arizona for the Cardinals. There was a restaurant chain that wanted to have the naming rights, and it was just a little too risque for them, so they passed on it. So I know some of that. You got to be careful of what company you want to be associated with. Beer companies, liquor companies, they do a lot of advertising. Do schools want to be associated with them? Gambling sites.
Lottery.
This 15, 20 years ago, I'm in Baton Rouge at a game. I look up at the scoreboard. There's an advertisement for the Louisiana Lottery. I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So do they want to shy away from, FanDuel and DraftKings and all these The gambling sites are huge. You see them all over professional sports. Are they going to filter down to the collegiate level as well? I wonder about that. What are the limitations for sponsors? Obviously, you want somebody to be associated with your school that's a upstanding business. You don't want a controversial one, I would imagine.
Yeah. But you also want the one who spends the most money.
Oh,
you don't want to
right.
make a deal for 15 when somebody else was prepared to offer 7.
In the state of Mississippi, say, the Beau Rivage, which is part of the MGM, collect,
Family.
I think now it's part of Bonvoy. Do they want to be associated with a big gambling outfit that's been in Mississippi for 30 years? Well, we kind of like to. Wouldn't be bad. I'm sure they could give us some cash.
When we come back, CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, will join us. It's our Wednesday show, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long-needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long-needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. All right, we're back at it, 27 minutes to the top of the hour on this Wednesday. That means our man CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joins us here. And CJ, hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for being on with us.
Good morning, guys. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, this is our next to last visit with you before football season starts. A week from tomorrow, you have the Hall of Fame game this week that we're talking at right now. This week is the last week without football until what? February or March. It's about time, isn't it, CJ? You starting to feel it?
You know what? The World Cup did a really good job of kind of holding us over. You know, I've never been much of a soccer guy, but it was really exciting seeing all the folks come from overseas and from different places across the world come over here to America and really just embrace our culture and the things that we love to do on a day-to-day basis. It was a reason to get everybody together at the local bar and things like that. But now it's really time for, football to come around and us to dig into that. Right now, these next 2 weeks are going to be really tough trying to get through until we have some more sports on TV. I've heard plenty about camps and things like that at this point. I'm ready to see some pads and helmets go on.
Yeah, you and me both, CJ. But I will admit, it's something about the first Monday in August. I wake up in cold sweats because that's when high school football started, 2-a-days, and you're still even 4 years after the fact. It still gets me.
Even now, CJ, he's talking about, up downs when the grass is all mowed and it sticks to you, and it's early morning and stuff. He hated it. What about you?
That's right. There's a generation right now that has no idea what we mean by 2-a-days. So those were the good old days.
Oh man, you ain't kidding. I mean, your car would smell. I mean, God, your car smells so bad because remember those, Barry? What were those seats? Not leather, but kind of a cloth crush velour or whatever, and the sweat would soak into them.
Never get rid of it.
You couldn't get rid of that smell.
Oh,
in middle school, at least we didn't necessarily have, the locker room. That was for the high school kids. So there wasn't any shower or anything like that. So you just get in the car straight from practice. It was rough times, and as a middle school kid, not everybody's hygiene is probably where it needs to be.
Yeah, kids.
God bless you, Mom. God bless you, Mom, for putting up with that. Whew,
you know how quick I'll tell you this, CJ. When I played YMCA football on Saturdays, because my dad, I mean, he loved watching us play. We were good, but he was more worried about getting to Tuscaloosa. So when that game was over, he threw me in the car with my football pants still on. I mean, I had to change in the car.
That's great. Hey, priorities, you got to watch the Tide.
I got to ask you for some perspective on this. Yesterday, it was announced that Eagles defensive end Jalen Carter, who's great, there's no question about that, signed a deal 4 years, $152 million. Browns cornerback Denzel Ward, who's been to like 5 Pro Bowls, 2 years, $62 million. Is that crazy? I mean, CJ, 4 years, $152 million. Is there a cap to that ever, do you think? Does that surprise you?
You know what? It doesn't surprise me. The NFL and the owners continue each year to outdo themselves, right? The league is in great hands. They continue to do well financially. They're making all the right moves. They're going global. So when that happens, also the contracts continue to grow as well as the market grows. So does the player contracts. And, these two guys in particular, they're at the top of the market. You could argue they're both top 3 to 5 guys in their market. And,
Sure.
and what I've learned over time is that, you don't necessarily have to be the best player in the league, but your contract just needs to come up at the right time, right? And so, for instance, Jeff Simmons may still be better than Jalen Carter, but Jeff Simmons' contract isn't up, so he has to wait a little bit longer to be the highest paid. And it was the same way when Aaron Donald was in the league. And Denzel Ward, Patrick Surtain's probably the best, and Patrick Surtain held highest, paid DB in NFL history for about a year and a half, but now he's stuck in that one, and so you're going to have 2 or 3 more guys just because of timing that will outdo Patrick Surtain, but that doesn't mean he's not the best corner in the league.
CJ's, what, if any, takeaways did you have from SEC Media Days last week?
You know what? Not too much. John Summerall. I think John Summerall. His personality is something that stood out to me. I had heard about it, but to kind of see it live there and to see his interactions and see how intense of a guy he is. I think that's what Florida's always needed. Even when I was playing ball, Florida was a team where we kind of told ourselves going into the game, they're probably going to be faster than us, more athletic than us. They got some really, really good players. But, man, if we punch them in the mouth early, get them kind of fussing at each other and that kind of thing, we'll have a chance to stay in this game or even win this game. And there were several kind of front-running teams like that when I was around, and Florida was one of them. But, the kind of discipline it looks like this guy's going to have in that locker room, if you clean some things up in that locker room, Florida – arguably probably has the best athletes in the SEC. They can compete with anyone with a disciplined locker room. And so I'd love to see what that looks like going forward. The rest of it's pretty much par for course, in my opinion. You give enough, but not too much. I'm just excited to see what the final product looks like for a lot of these teams.
We didn't mention it last week because it was absolutely new in the news cycle and we were digesting it. But a week ago, yesterday, SRM Concrete reached a deal with Vanderbilt University. The nation's #1 ready-mix concrete producer is the very first all-sports jersey patch contract with Vanderbilt. When you see the Commodores roll out on anything, women's basketball, track, women's tennis, whatever, they're going to have a patch on their jersey that says SRM Concrete without any particular reference to whether or not it's good concrete or not.
Right.
Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it, CJ?
You know what? I think I'm indifferent about it. I think the current landscape has forced the hand of these universities and these athletic directors. It has come to a point now where you can't compete if you don't have money. And so how do you get creative about getting money? And we've talked before on this show just about, how teams have started doing concerts, and now we've got patches, and there'll probably be more. It's a slippery slope, but I can't blame any team for finding ways to, one, keep all of their sports teams still rocking and rolling, but also trying to compete when it comes to NIL as well. And so I think with Vanderbilt, it's like, hey, look, as long as it's tasteful, and it's not some, big bright colors, rainbow colors, or whatever it is, as long as it's tasteful and decent size, I'm fine with it. But we don't need to go all the way up and down the sleeves now. We don't need to look like a golfer out there. But say you had one on one side, one on the other, and you call it a day, I wouldn't be.
Or a NASCAR driver. Certainly don't want to go that far with these guys wearing. But a concrete company is, that's strong, that's tough, that's hard to break. I mean, I didn't think about that, but to me, that's a great combination. And we were talking a little bit about that, CJ, before you hopped on with us. I think schools have got to be careful about what type of businesses they want to associate themselves with. They want that business's logo on their uniform representing the university. There's some, I think, that just aren't going to make the cut.
That's right. There's a slippery slope. And in that contract, there can be a morality clause. And these are just the things that we can and cannot accept because we're representing underage people. So,
right.
You don't want an 18-year-old swimmer with, maybe gambling or a liquor or whatever. If that student can't participate in whatever that is, then they probably shouldn't be wearing it or representing it. And you can put a morality clause in there, and people just have to get on board with it. This isn't a professional team.
One more thought about the SEC media days. John and I have been absolute rock solid against ever voting in the preseason all SEC media stuff, but it is noteworthy that the media who did vote overwhelmingly picked Georgia and Texas as the top two. Ole Miss was picked third, but they were way, way behind Texas and Georgia. Agree, disagree with that?
What, Barry, from your experience, how often is the preseason aligned with what it ends up being?
Never.
Okay.
When Saban had it rolling, it was a little bit of a cheat code.
That one's a little bit different, but
it's got to be like 20% at best.
Yeah, you know what? I want to believe in Texas, but they haven't given me any reason to. I'd imagine that Georgia will be very consistent. They will have a really good year. They've got a veteran quarterback who just has a lot of guts. He's a tough kid and refuses to lose. So I do imagine Georgia will probably be one of the teams that's right there in the mix at the end for the SEC championship. But man, there's a lot of other teams that I really like. I think that LSU's got a chance. I think Oklahoma has a chance. the winner of the LSU Ole Miss game could be, right there in the race for the SEC championship. Like I said, sleeper team could beat Florida as well. So I don't know about Texas. I remember watching every single one of their games just out of my interest of Arch, and I'm sure he's grown and the team has grown a lot. But man, I can't get the visual out of my head of them struggling at Mississippi State last year, and there were some other games like that. I mean, I watched them play against us. And man, they were up 30 on us and let us come back to basically it was down to an onside kick. So Texas, I still think they got a lot of work to do before we crown them.
Well, one team you didn't bring up, CJ, interestingly, is Alabama, who I was hearing from people before media days last week. Oh, they're going to be in the playoff. I got them in the third spot in the league behind Georgia and Texas. Last I looked, and correct me here, Bear, I believe they finished sixth in the voting.
Yes,
fifth
correct.
or sixth.
Yes, sixth.
I don't think that's where Bama fans were expecting to see them.
Yep, I agree with you that probably wasn't where they were expecting it, but I think that's something that we kind of have to wrap our heads around. That there's so much new going on with Alabama, and so I don't think it's anybody's fault for not necessarily voting them higher. You just don't know what to expect. A lot of these other teams, Texas and Georgia, they're bringing back a lot of guys. They're bringing back a lot of experience, and they've got some big name superstar potential type players on their team. So that's kind of the easy vote, right? That's why I tend to stay away from that. To me, that's just kind of low hanging fruit. I try to make a vote that will kind of create some conversation. But Alabama, I do believe they will have a pretty good year. I don't think we're about to fall off a cliff or anything of that nature. But with there being so much uncertainty with the quarterback position, the running back position, you got to replace the left tackle. You've got a lot of defensive players that you got to replace as well. We don't know what the final product is going to look like. It could all mesh, or it could all look a little clunky there at the beginning, and then they finish off strong. And so for me, I would personally, put Keelan in and start getting ready for the future and be okay with being clunky at the beginning and just be, full steam ahead at the end of the year, going into next year, thinking that we're back in the playoff in 2 years. That would be my way to go about it. That'd be my blueprint. But I know Alabama fans don't want to wait that long. They have other expectations.
Yes, that's a good point. Always great stuff. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. Always a pleasure. Next week, I don't know. We may talk Hall of Fame game just out of sheer hunger, but it's getting to be that time. Next week, there's football.
Man, I'm itching for it, guys. I can't wait for it, and it's good to be with y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate you. Look forward to it. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us as he does each and every week. We always appreciate his time. Great analysis and insight from CJ. We'll get some more of that in about 12 minutes. Our friend Paul Feinbaum from ESPN and the SEC Network will join us. Obviously, he was in Tampa last week in all of it. We had an opportunity to talk with Paul while we were there and said, let's do something after the event, after it wraps up, and get kind of a nice bow on it. We'll do that with Paul, amongst other topics today with him as well. We got him for about a segment because then he's got an ESPN hit at the bottom of hour number 2. We certainly don't want to delay him on that, so we'll be on top of it for Paul when he joins us here. And I said in about 10 or 11 minutes.
Let's take a break. Got another one coming up at the top of the hour. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Have to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
Chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All right, welcome back in. Glad you're with us. About 9 minutes or so at the top of the hour. Barry, I found this interesting. You know me. Yeah, I'm an easy catch. I'll get lured in quickly and see what it's all about. I've never met this young man. An opinion column from Joseph Goodman at AL.com entitled, "Here's Why the Big Ten is Racing Past the SEC." And there again, the Big Ten's having their media days in Chicago. They're beating their chest, and their coaches are talking some smack, and the commissioners talking about all the successes that they've had from, financial deals to championships and things of that nature. But Goodman talks about the caliber of coaches in that league, excluding Brett Bielema. I don't think he's even listed on this. And it kind of surprised me because, quite honestly, I went, oh, wow, that guy is coaching there in the Big Ten. And, oh, man, you know what? I forgot about him, too. He is coaching there in the Big Ten. Man, I forgot about that.
Illinois was like an 11-win team last year.
Yeah, and then he compares them with guys like Ryan Silverfield and Alex Golish and Jeff Levy and Will Stein at Kentucky and all these other guys. And I'm kind of going, well, I got to admit, I didn't really know a lot about these guys until they got into the SEC. Quite honestly, I didn't know much about them until I got to Tampa last week. But there again, I know it's just based on somebody's opinion, and there's some numbers to back it up, what these coaches in the Big Ten have done against coaches in the SEC. But I wonder if that's one of the issues as well. I mean, you think about it, in the last 20 years, there's been some coaches in this league that people recognized. They were winners. They were putting up championships. Is that not the case anymore?
I don't know that a whole lot of people still remember with reverence the Bobby Johnsons and Jerry DiNardo's and
Woody Woodenhofer
and Brian Harsons and, oh my gosh, Jack Crows of the world. So, all that stuff. Most people are like John. I think John, he's not paying attention to who the coach is at Illinois, or do you think David Braun's going to do a good job at Northwestern? David Braun, what? There are a lot of people like that. But the quality of coaching is obviously pretty good in the Big Ten. Once you get past a certain level, it's like the comedian said one time, it's like the difference between the A-bomb and the H-bomb. They're both going to kill you, I mean, if it lands on top of you, you're gone. Same thing with the SEC and the Big Ten. Once you get past a certain point, they're all good. What I don't like is, and I guess the SEC is guilty of this too, is the Big Ten taking shots at the SEC. If I am subscribing to the John Longshore School of Public Presentation, I'm not even paying attention to the SEC if I'm the Big Ten. I'm not even acknowledging their presence. This is not the SEC media days. This is the Big Ten media days. Sing your own praises. Promote your own achievements instead of Oh, we're better than them. See,
Barry,
our guy's better. This guy's better than their guy. Forget about the SEC.
Are you
it's kind of like
saying
Auburn fans need to be about. Just forget about them.
Yeah. Are you saying it's similar to my stance on, hey, Auburn, if you win the Iron Bowl, don't even roll Toomer's Corner. Act like it's not a big deal. Bama fans going, whoa, wait a minute. They did not roll Toomer's Corner. Yeah, not worthy. Not worth it. That's what you got to do.
Instead, the Big Ten is spending all this, time talking about in relation to the SEC. Now, these are the two monoliths. These are the A-bomb and the H-bomb.
Yeah.
And everybody else. They come out with a valuation of if there's been, I guess, a bunch of bean counters, accountants, private equity people that have come up. If you were going to purchase, if like Bob from Pike Road said, he says, we all know college football is definitely professional. Let's not put our head in the sand. Under every definition of the word professional, college football fits that definition. He's right. It is. There's no doubt that it is. And a lot of people are saying, well, if we're going to watch professional football, why not just watch the best professionals? Why not just watch the NFL? That's a thing. But if every college football program was a franchise,
yeah,
how much would be the purchase price for that franchise? And they've come up with a valuation.
Yeah.
If you were going to buy the University of Texas football program as an NFL franchise, the projection is they would cost $2.46 billion to buy.
Yeesh.
That's number one. Ohio State is number two. If you buy them, it would cost $2.3 billion.
Yep.
The top 10, out of the top 10, Notre Dame's number 3. They are the only non-Big Ten or SEC franchise. So you'd buy Notre Dame, it costs $2.1 billion. There are 5 Big Ten schools in the top 10, and there are 4 SEC schools. The 4 SEC schools, Texas is number 1. The second most highly valued is Georgia at number 5. Alabama is number 6. It would cost $1.8 billion.
Okay.
Texas would be $6 million more, but Alabama $1.8 billion to buy the Alabama football program at number 6. Not bad.
Not bad.
Oklahoma and Tennessee. Those are the 4 from the SEC. So they're I don't know why the Big Ten is spending so much time comparing themselves to the SEC. They favor in a lot of those comparisons. They surely do. But why? I'm with John. Why even acknowledge them at your own media days?
Yeah. Barry, I don't know if you noticed this drive-by from Joe, but I knew it was coming. I'll never live down the Mike Riley comment.
Yeah, don't forget Mike Riley.
I'll never live it down. Yeah. Thanks, Joe, for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Hey, Barry, what do you say we take a quick time out? Paul Feinbaum is in the green room ready to go. And when we return, we will have Paul join us to talk a little SEC football.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Kicking off hour number 2, Longshore McKnight in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News. Check them out at yellowhammernews.com. Our friend Paul Feinbaum, SEC Network, ESPN, joining us here today. Paul, thanks for hopping on. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, John and Barry. What's going on with you guys?
Well, we are doing fine, just kind of coming off the high of the organized mayhem that is SEC Media Days. You carried yourself throughout the entire event like the eye of the storm, always calm, always looking at, when you're looking at Paul Feinbaum as being the calm in the entire thing, that gives you kind of a sense of exactly what it must have been like, Paul.
Yeah, Barry, I spent 5 days in Tampa trying to figure out one important thing. Why are we in Tampa? Never could get an answer on that. Made no sense to me whatsoever. I'm sure I've stepped on the toes of some flack at the Chamber of Commerce there. And I know some of this is the old newspaper radio guy in me, but when the majority of your radio and newspaper people live in Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, they support the SEC. Why do you make it virtually impossible for them to attend?
Yeah, I hear you. It was hot too in Tampa. I'll throw that in there.
By the way, John, go outside, right? It's not cool in Alabama this morning.
That's true.
You know what? You talked to every coach. Nick Saban was there and talked to a few as well. I'd like to get your thoughts of John Summerall. Obviously, Barry's very closely associated with Summerall with his time at Troy. I've always been impressed with him. Your thoughts about the new Gator head coach?
I thought he made a great impression. It wasn't his first because we've seen him before. Obviously, people in Alabama know him, but I thought he was one of the stars of media days. And by the way, the rows of CBS Sports and cable access stations around the country are littered with stars of SEC Media Day coaches. It doesn't guarantee you anything, except it's good when you come in from Florida and make a good first impression, as opposed to the disaster that was Billy Napier for the past 4 years. So I like everything about Summerall. He's got it together. I'll be shocked if they don't have a championship contending team there very soon.
I thought one of the only casualties of Summerall's appearance was Kalen DeBoer. You talk about why in the world's the SEC Media Days down in Tampa. I wasn't sure I'd live to see a day where Alabama got upstaged at SEC Media Days, and I thought they did that morning.
Yeah, the only reason I think I was involved on more Alabama chatter perhaps than most is that I got subjected to a 25-minute diatribe by Stephen A. Smith about why Kalen DeBoer is the wrong coach at Alabama. I might quibble with a few things he said, but not everything that he said. And a lot of Alabama fans, again, these are the same ones who defended Mike Dubose, Mike Price, Mike Shula on their final day on the job. I still remember walking out of the Shula press conference in 07, and fans and players at the time, now former players, telling me this is the biggest mistake Alabama's ever made. But that's just those people are always there, John and Barry. You know them. But beyond that, I don't see many people defending DeBoer. I don't mind that you not be Nick Saban or Steve Spurrier, but come up with a new act. I mean, we know you. We know you knew what you were signing up for. Okay, I mean, we get it. We get the fact that you don't have a dynamic personality. You've got more of a Pacific Northwest, Midwest approach. I like you. I think I speak for both of you if I can. Perfectly nice guy. I mean, you'd love him to be your daughter's father-in-law. The question is he the right coach at Alabama? And he has not proven that to me. Nobody has ever done less to earn a $70 million buyout.
Paul, it's interesting you bring up Mike Shula. I had a Mike Shula moment at SEC Media Days in Tampa. I was standing off to the side, kind of in an area where I could gather my thoughts. I was about to do a TV hit with the CBS station here in Montgomery, and I looked up, and Kalen DeBoer standing right next to me. He's waiting to go into another room, and I just was startled. And I went, well, hey, Coach, how you doing? We talked for maybe, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I thought to myself, this would have never happened under Nick Saban. There would have been 10 handlers around him. Media would have been everywhere. Cameras watching his every move, and here's Kalen DeBoer just standing there waiting for his next rotation at Media Day.
Well, because that's how Alabama football feels right now. Like they're just another program waiting in the back. You could have been at Conference USA Media Days or American Media Days, and it wouldn't have felt any different with DeBoer. And that's okay. But just I'll volunteer myself for next year's Media Days, maybe to come up with a new script. His line is continual. I know what we signed up for. We know the expectations at Alabama. Okay, we know Nick Saban's great. Just give us some red meat, Kalen.
Yeah.
Just don't repeat the talking points of every high school football coach in the country. I mean, you could succeed Hall of Fame coaches at 15 schools in Montgomery or Prattville or Mobile or Birmingham and probably say the same thing. And that's my only objection. I don't want to relitigate Florida State or Indiana. Everybody knows what happened in those games. I know we got two great guys competing at the quarterback job, and I just don't know when we're going to be able to name the start. Listen, if you can't figure out who's better between Kalen DeBoer and Austin Mack, I'll help you. It's Kalen. It's Keelan Russell. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to make Austin Mack your quarterback, then you're essentially saying we're going to have less dimensions. We're just going to get over the fact that our offensive line and running game may not be very good. We're going to leave the most dynamic quarterback Alabama's had in a while, and that's saying they've had some great ones on the bench, and let him transfer next year.
At least John's reaction and interaction with Kalen DeBoer was better than John's interaction with former Vanderbilt coach Bobby Johnson, who once went by our table when we were broadcasting. John handed him the water pitcher and told him to make it snappy.
I didn't know who the guy was. Never seen him
That was
before.
Embarrassing. Your thoughts about it looked as though for the first time in a little while, what you're talking about, giving us a little something, giving us a little more dynamism and electricity. For the first time in the last three coaches, it seemed to me as though Alex Golesh kind of delivered that instead of the last couple that they've had up there.
I thought he was fantastic. And I think it helped that he didn't have to subterfuge or obfuscate about the quarterback. We all know who it's going to be. Yeah. He's very direct. He's very emotional. And let's be honest. I mean, in the history of coaching, it's always said you don't want to be the guy who follows the guy. You do want to be the guy who follows the two worst coaches in modern Auburn history, Byron Harsin, or whatever his name is. I can't remember his first name. And Hugh Freeze, because I mean, somebody compared Dabo Sweeney yesterday. It was Blake Topmeyer. He said Dabo Sweeney is starting to sound like Hugh Freeze now. I mean, that's the end of your career at that precise moment when you get compared to Hugh Freeze. Unless you're, a local golfer at the country club trying to make the first flight of the club championship. I mean, I just Goish did well. I know that was a question, Barry, somewhere along the way.
What about Kiffin's appearance? Were you expecting that? He seemed to be kind of subdued.
Yeah, I was expecting that because that's what we've gotten from Kiffin. And just leave it to Kiffin. Everybody was saying, well, you're going to have that famous Kiffin Feinbaum interview with him. No, because Kiffin was gone by 12 o'clock. And we didn't come on to here till 3. I ran into him literally. I mean, I was not like stalking him. I was walking over to do First Take, not far from where you guys were, and ran smack into Kiffin. And as only Lane Kiffin can do, he said, "Hey, aren't we supposed to be doing an interview today?" It's like you're in high school and you're at the prom and you see your ex-girlfriend who wouldn't call you back when you asked her. And she said, "Oh, are we supposed to be here together?" No, Lane, we're not supposed. And so I said, "No, the times didn't work." He said, "Well, I'm available right now." I'm not. But he's just he never changes. That was just a little interaction with me, and then he was determined not to answer anything, and that's just what we're going to get from him until probably the third weekend of the year.
You mentioned about Alex Golesh and how he was such a bright spot of media days. Was there another coach, Paul, that you talked to or around in Tampa that you went, wow, I got more out of him than I was expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easy answer is Pete Golding. I wasn't expecting F-bombs. I wasn't expecting the kind of conversation that we had from him. I don't want to get carried away. I mean, he's a football coach, so what are we? You're not expecting him to quote, the Iliad and the Odyssey, but he was pretty fun.
Final question I've got: is it playing well? What seems to be the theme early on in the Big Ten media days is that they're spending a lot of time comparing themselves to the SEC rather than promoting their own accomplishments. Do you feel that from them?
Yeah, I'm about to go on an ESPN show here when I leave you, and the first question is going to be Brett Bielema, and I don't want to overwhelm anybody with the facts, but he was terrible as the Arkansas coach. His last season, he was 0-8 in the SEC. He was 11-29 overall, and he got fired. How he got another job, I'll never know, but good for him. He's made the most out of Illinois. I don't know if I want to go out in public and admit that I'm the Illinois head football coach, but he apparently is proud of it. And so, but his shots at the SEC just don't make any sense. Now, listen, it's the cliche question of the day. Is the SEC better or is the Big Ten better? I mean, if you don't answer the Big Ten is better, you have to equivocate. They've won 3 straight titles. That's what we judge things on. We don't give the PGA Player of the Year award to a guy. We're not going to give it to Scotty Scheffler because he came in second a bunch of times. You give it to somebody who won a major, who's won significant tournaments. Same way in the big, but it really doesn't matter. There's a new field starting in September, and if the SEC wins, then this nonsensical debate will finally come to an end.
And it certainly would help if Texas and Oklahoma could beat their Big Ten opponent in week 2 of this season. As Oklahoma goes to Michigan, Ohio State comes to Texas. If the Big Ten wins those 2 games, Paul, you know what's coming.
Yeah, no. Monday morning, it's going to be pretty brutal for those of us who drape ourselves in the SEC.
Well, one quick before we let you go, Paul. I know you got to scoot. Our fans, our viewers and listeners, they're not real happy about what they're hearing. Notre Dame with a deal, Ohio State with a deal, corporate logos on the uniforms. You got to think John Cohen and Greg Byrne are working on some deals, aren't they?
Well, you would hope so. And it doesn't matter whether we like it or not. It's just the reality of today. If you can make that, if you can make $20 million on that, then why do you sell out your home game for what, $5 million to go to Atlanta, like Auburn did for the Baylor game? I mean, there's a lot of money out there. Make it. We're in a rare moment in time, and I'm sure there's some company that would like to have. I mean, I'll do it. I mean, if they can't find anybody, but the three of us, Longshore, Knight, and Feinbaum, I mean, we could probably come up with $500, couldn't we?
Probably by the bottom of the hour, we could do that. There's no doubt. Paul, as always, my friend, thank you so much. Enjoyed seeing you down in Tampa, and always enjoy having you here on the program with us. We'll definitely do it again soon.
The pleasure is mine. Barry, John, see you soon. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Paul Feinbaum, ESPN SEC Network. As you mentioned, I think he's going on with Stephen A. here in a couple of minutes. Not to leave us, but you can always check us up out on the loop just in case. But he is always entertaining and enjoyed being with him and speaking with him down in Tampa. Good stuff. All right.
Even without being critical, he can be critical. He could not think of Brian Harson's first name, and I don't blame him. I'm not criticizing Paul. That speaks highly of the the tenure.
I'm not the only one that can forget stuff. Forget might not be the word. Maybe just didn't know it in the first place.
Didn't know in the first place. Yeah, didn't know to forget.
But it kind of made me feel good when a guy like Feinbaum goes, "Now, what was that guy's name over there at Auburn?"
Yeah, I know his last name is Harson. But that's very Longshore-esque. What was that guy's name? Had vertigo, that type of thing. It was good to see Paul do that, and you could probably gain a little insight about Brian Harson's tenure at Auburn by the fact that Paul could not remember his first name.
Well, I mentioned, Barry, when we got back from Tampa, or maybe while we were there, I think it was actually. I mean, with Malzahn, Harson, and Freeze, you never knew anything. I mean, it was coach speak. It was, short stuff, short, quick answers. They didn't really want to talk to anybody. And Golis is just going on and on. We're going, man, wow, where's this been? Man, I like this. This is awesome.
Speaking of short stuff, Terry Bowden, he used to talk and talk and talk, but even he didn't really say anything. The problem with Harson was that he never really talked about recruiting. He never really gave much credit to it. Freeze, always his pet thing was we're close. Goodness knows, I don't know why in the world people identify with Gus Malzahn because he liked Waffle House. And with Terry Bowden, even with that great start, I had Auburn fans, that was back when I was covering them on a day-to-day basis, who were saying, if he mentions his dad one more time, I'm off the Bowden bandwagon. So Golish is original. He's fresh. He's funny. It's not the same old stuff, and he'll actually say some things. I mean, he and his staff, they were talking about, what's the guy's name? The running back, and said, that guy's got to lose a few. Ain't nobody was saying that about Rudy Johnson, or nobody was saying that about Michael Dyer, or you didn't hear that at all about Cam Petway, who ran for 1,000 yards one year at Auburn. So it's good to have somebody who will actually give you something.
Yeah, very refreshing. And speaking of that, Theodis, Josh will be on with us on Friday. I know you were wondering where the Money Line Magician was today, but Josh was nice enough to work his schedule so we could have Paul on with us in this segment. So no worries, Theodis. Josh will hop on with us on Friday from Stivers Ford here in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Really appreciate all the comments on the River Region Straw chat line. Getting some good ones here today, as always.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate that.
In deference to Bob from Pike Road and his constant observation as well, patches on the jerseys for Alabama, should it be U-Haul? Should they have a U-Haul patch on the jersey to kind of defray the expense that Bob says is coming? in moving
DeBoer
out of town if he does not win more than 9 games this year?
Yeah, that probably falls in line, Barry, with just some sponsors. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Might not want to do that.
Mm-mm.
Not going to be a good look, I don't think.
So
just saying.
Well, Chris the Bammer, our self-appointed producer, he says break then Phantom. We've got Phantom's Daily Dog.
Coming
up. Yeah, well, you've already heard the fabled. More on that later.
Yeah.
Kind of know which way the Phantom went yesterday. And we got a new one coming up. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got you, Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What'd I miss? I have no idea.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today. I hope you enjoyed our interview with Paul Feinbaum. If you didn't, no problem. You can check it out on your schedule. It's the beauty of what we got going on here. And you can check it out at whenever it's convenient for you. Let's don't tiptoe around. Let's don't do it.
See, what had happened was,
yeah.
It's not really, it's a terrible flood. It was an earthquake. My dog ate my homework.
That's right.
Not
That's
my
right.
fault.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
The New York Yankees were playing the Chicago White Sox last night, and the Chicago White Sox were a home underdog. They were catching plus 115. Now, the Yankees, it is true, jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the second inning. Barry, I believe it was the bottom of the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. The Chicago White Sox have the bases loaded. And they don't scratch across a run.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I thought at that point, that's not a good sign. But they held the Yankees scoreless for the remainder of the game. And then we get to the bottom of the ninth, Barry.
3-0 Yankees.
Yes.
3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the ninth. Chase Meidroth. 2-run homer. 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth.
Correct.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, it is.
Makes it 3-2. And that's how the game ends.
All we need is one more. Just get us into extra innings. That's all we're looking for. Home team rallying back, extra innings. Oh, and they fall short. I mean, those are the kind of games I'm thinking, if I knew that was going to happen, you could have lost it in the first inning. Why? You shamelessly wasted my time for 2.5, 3 hours to see that.
Oh. Garrett Cole was terrific. 6 scoreless innings on the hill for the Yankees. You will never hear me as a play-by-play announcer never, ever call it the bump. That's stupid. But Garrett Cole handles the White Sox, helping to spur the Yankees to a 3-2 victory in Chicago.
That was tough. And, I know I've used this before. Mama said there'd be days like this. Yeah. That one hurt.
A week
hurt.
From tomorrow, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but a week from tomorrow, it's the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, oh boy.
And then not this weekend, but the next, a full slate of preseason games.
Cannot wait.
Preseason lasts 3 weeks this year. Week 1 of the NFL starts in 5 weeks. College football starts in 5 weeks. There is a light at the end of the Phantom's Tunnel.
Barry, that time period where there's like a college pro, or I guess we don't deal with high school, but college or pro game every night for like 57 straight days. Whew. Phantom loves those.
This coming weekend is the last weekend without football until the end of February.
Oh,
it's glorious.
Cannot get here.
Yes.
Quick enough. So, Barry, 2:45 this afternoon.
Okay. Early stuff.
2:45, I believe. Is Wednesday a getaway game? I guess it is in some degree.
As a matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games begin before 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of games
morning/afternoon games. The early game is the Phillies at the Marlins, 2 teams in the National League East who are really struggling while the Braves continue to motor forward. They play at 11 o'clock this morning down in Miami. They ain't going to be 500 fans at that.
Golly, yeah. John from Wetumpka, got any explanation for that? 500 fans. That's pretty embarrassing.
It's awful.
What are the Rays doing, by the way? I hadn't checked lately.
The Rays, they are, let's see, the Braves, by the way, play a doubleheader today.
Oh.
A twilight, day-night doubleheader. As of right this minute, the Tampa Bay Rays are 62 and 44. They are a game and a half ahead of the New York Yankees in first place. The Yankees are in trouble because Aaron Judge is now injured, the MVP. So
not bad that this is this is not the Phantom's Daily Dog, but just for people that are interested, the Rays are minus 150 today, hosting the Rangers at 540.
Yes.
But that's not it. But this is the game today, Barry, and it is at 2:45.
Yes,
from what used to be Candlestick Park, or that's where the Giants used to play. I don't know where they play now.
Yes, they play at AT&T Park or whatever it's called.
Park.
Yes, now in San Francisco, right on the bay.
Right on the bay. Could be a little cool this afternoon. I know it's extremely hot here in Alabama, but it could be cool in San Francisco. It usually is. What somebody write the coldest winter ever spent was a summer in San Francisco or something?
Kidding. It's the worst.
So it can be chilly in the summer in Frisco. And it is a fact. San Francisco, slightly ahead of the Colorado Rockies at 22 games out of first place in the National League Western Division. And they are hosting a Milwaukee Brewer team that is leading the National League Central by 6 games at this moment, 67 and 40.
Forecast at first pitch, 70 degrees. That's the high for the day.
Boy,
70. Okay.
It'd be nice to have that here.
We try to cover everything here on the Phantom.
The weather's important. I can promise you. Weather is important in sporting events. But, Barry, for some reason, the San Francisco Giants are only catching $1.05. They're a home team a slight home team dog this afternoon at $1.05. 105. against a team that's leading their division by
Yes.
6 games?
Yeah, the Brewers are all that.
I
right
mean,
now.
what's going on here? This stinks, smells. Something ain't right. Now, I'll admit,
Well, you've been to San Francisco lately?
I have not. It's been a
Okay.
while since I've been to San Francisco.
Then you'll know what smells and what doesn't smell.
Oh boy, you ain't kidding.
Right.
I don't know who Logan Webb is. Sounds like a frat boy name. Logan
Very
Webb.
solid, very solid pitcher. You know, he's not going to win the Cy Young or anything, but he'll give you a solid start. He'll battle.
Okay.
He's not dynamic, but then again, when you take at it in the long and the short of it, neither is Shane Drohan for the Brewers.
I was about to ask you about old Shane. Yeah.
Shane's all right too. Comparable pitchers, middle of the rotation guys, solid, not spectacular. They give you 5 innings, you feel like they've done their job.
All right, Logan, looking for a good outing from you today. Just for the record, Barry, unlike yesterday, where tickets were extremely low for the White Sox Yankee game, which I thought was interesting. Tickets today starting as low as $18. If you're in the Bay Area and would like to see this game, that's, I believe, Barry, would be $4.45 in San Francisco, $2.45 here in the Central Time Zone. So if you're listening to us at MGM and heading out to San Francisco, you could probably make the game, actually, believe it or not. So there you have it. If that interests you, that is the Phantoms Daily Dog. We're taking the San Francisco Giants at plus 105. Somebody did ask me, is that the first time you've had the Giants as the Daily Dog? I'll have to go back and look.
I'm sure he's had it before.
Yeah,
I'm
somewhere
sure
down the
I
line.
can't remember the game, and I can't remember who was favored and who wasn't. But there's no doubt he's had the Giants before.
Yeah, they do. We do. So,
all right. One thing real quick.
There you have it.
Before we go to break, that's our Phantoms Daily Dog. John from Wetumpka says 2 things. First, the Atlanta Braves have been sporting a concrete patch on their jersey for several years.
I'll take your word for it, John.
Second, the NFL should be helping with their player development in college football. I'm not sure. The NFL would help. Are you talking about financially?
Yeah.
Number one, colleges these days, especially the other, they're not about necessarily developing. They want guys who are already developed. They'll sign somebody like that. They'll pay somebody like that. Number two, why should the NFL help with developing?
Sure.
They get it for free. I mean, do you think the NFL is going to say, hey, you've been providing us with a pool of game-ready, experienced, coached product for us to put on the field that we haven't had to pay anything for? I tell you what, how about we start paying for it? No, they're not going to do that. Of course they're not.
Barry, I wonder.
There's a lot of things that if you get it for free, you're not going to pay for, including
What that girl
and,
tell Reggie Hammond when he said, all I got's a 20?
Something about when the wind blows or something. I don't know, but that's the reason why they're not going to help out with player development, because they don't have to. Good question here. Hey, Barry, this is from Tobias. Hey, Barry, who hates baseball more, John or the late Beano Cook?
No, wait a minute.
The thing is that in his defense, Beano, who I'm not usually defending very much, God rest his soul, I've read his autobiography.
Okay.
And the 3 things about it stick out. Number one, Beano knew what the lines were. Beano
Sure he did.
bet on a lot of these things. Number 2, Beano was giving a crash course in how to fill out an expense report to your maximum benefit. I knew somebody like that was even better at it than Beano. He would talk all the time about how he used to, pad his expense report. It got to be, kind of a competition among the ESPN on-air people. You only got so-and-so for that? You can that. And number 3, Beano started out loving baseball.
Yeah.
He was a big baseball fan. And then it started getting more and more boring and more. I got to agree right now, baseball, Major League Baseball, I love college baseball, love amateur baseball, love it with all my heart. Major leagues, I'm not loving it these days.
Now,
I'm not watching a bunch. It is boring.
Tobias,
it's either a strikeout or a home run.
Yeah, Tobias, I think hate is too harsh of a word.
John's not good with hate.
Yeah, I don't hate baseball. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it. I mean, I don't want to get rid of it. I check it out I'm a big postseason baseball guy. I will say that. When postseason rolls around, I'm much more interested in it. And I know what's coming. Well, that's going to happen in college football. Totally different. Apples and oranges. But I do get more involved in the postseason. My nephew watches a thing. He's a huge baseball fan, young man, 7, 8 years old. Every morning there's somewhere he can go and like get all the quick highlights of every game. And it takes him like 10 minutes. He loves it. Watches it every morning.
It's like the 2026 version of reading the box scores in the paper, which nobody does anymore. And hey, give me 10 minutes. I can find out everything that went on. Uncle John's going to call me and said, hey, what was the story in that Yankees game? I got to get ready. That kind of thing. That's
part of his daily routine with his Cheerios. He's got to check it out.
Nice.
And I can handle that. But okay, it's been a while since I've been to a major league game. I'll admit it. I've been to my fair share, though. I mean, it's not like
postseason baseball as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I
think I'm just not one to say, hey, fellas, what do you see? We load up in the family truckster and go over and watch the Braves at Truist Park. I'm not your guy for that.
Put an Edna on the top. Hate. Yeah, no.
But
I will late field goal to blow the cover.
Bino probably had one of the best lines of all time. Definitely in the top 10.
I was listening to a podcast. This is how nerdy I am. On the way down to Tampa about the president or the life of Jimmy Carter.
Oh yeah,
I was listening to that, and they were talking about the Iranian hostages. At the end of his presidency, they had, God rest their souls, a failed rescue attempt, and that pretty much cooked his chances at re-election against Ronnie. And the morning of Reagan's inauguration, they let the hostages go.
Yeah.
They're all on a plane back. And Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner of Major League Baseball at the time, all of the groundswell of support, and they met the hostages at the airport, and America was proud to have them back, and they were 444 days in captivity. Bowie Kuhn, Major League Baseball commissioner, tried to cash in on that good feeling and tried to capitalize on that, and said that each one of those hostages that's now been released will get a lifetime pass to any Major League Baseball game of their choosing, as many as they want. And Bino said, haven't they suffered enough?
So good. That is one of my favorites.
All right, good.
Real quick, a Motide Pride. I can only think of one time I've actually pulled money out of my pocket for a baseball ticket.
Was it? Wasn't one of your kids playing in some sort of an event up at Cooperstown? Did you have to buy that?
Well, that's true, Barry. My wife took our oldest son, did play in a Cooperstown Little League World Series deal. I didn't make it. I had to stay here with the rest of them. I'd love to go. I really would. But I got to stay here with the younger ones.
Okay, so fair question on that. Fair question.
So they did go to when they finished. They went to go see the Red Sox and the Yankees, I believe, at Fenway Park. But I wasn't there. But the only one I can remember pulling money out of my pocket was, I believe, game 5 of the World Series when the Braves and the Yankees played at Turner Field. And me and Doc NBA met somebody at the Hilton in downtown Atlanta. It was kind of like Clarence Beach. And, we went over there and I handed him $100 bill. Couldn't believe it. I went, man, paying $100 to go to a World Series game? That seems a little pricey. I think the Braves won that game that night, if I'm not mistaken. But
that's it.
But that's the only time I can ever remember. But I've been to a lot of Major League games. I can't remember spending any more than that.
Let's take a timeout. More to come in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie and it's done.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
Alrighty, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here on this the Wednesday edition. We're about 20 minutes to the top of the hour. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really, really appreciate it. Helps us out a ton to bring you the content that we enjoy producing for you each and every weekday morning. We do it live from 7 to 9, and then, wow, it's out there on the worldwide social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook and X and Spotify and Instagram and iTunes. So you can check us out. Yellowhammer News as well, yellowhammernews.com. Check out the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. You can always do that. We greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. And I know people, they run it through their Bluetooth in their car as well. So, so many ways to check it out. Oh, Barry, got to get that mic going. I see his mouth moving. There we go.
Thank you. Okay. One thing for spotting chart nerds like me who do play-by-play, probably not much for anybody else. It's been difficult for me over the last several years as a football play-by-play broadcaster to put on my charts true freshman for, on my squares with each play. True freshman, redshirt freshman. Redshirt sophomore, sophomore. Redshirt junior, junior. Redshirt senior, senior. Fifth-year senior. Sixth-year senior. Seventh-year senior. Redshirt fifth-year senior. All that kind of stuff. Because they are going to a 5-to-play-5 model with 5 years of eligibility, doesn't matter if you get hurt twice or whatever, or anything like that. You'll not hear anybody. There's no such thing as a red shirt anymore. Which is great. Or a gray shirt, or a blue shirt, or a green shirt. You have freshmen. These are what they're called. There's 5 different qualifications for your designation. You have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and longshore. I think that'll help everything out quite a bit. You will have, if you're in your first year, you're a freshman. If you're in your second year of eligibility, you're a sophomore. If you're a third year of eligibility, you're a junior. If you're in your fourth year, that's a senior. And if you're in the fifth year, that's called a longshore. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get away with the sixth year and the seventh year, which also would have been called longshore. But no, seriously, you have from now on, if you said, oh, this guy's a redshirt sophomore, you are out of touch, out of time. You're just simply a freshman or a sophomore, junior, senior, and a fifth year.
That was on the Big Bam
final
Boom
year is a
album.
Fifth year. Yes.
Hey, just for record, that was on the Big Bam Boom album from Hall & Oates. Out of touch, out of time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm out of my head when you're not around. So that'll simplify things as well. You want to sound smart to your friends around the water cooler when they say, oh, this guy's a redshirt senior. Oh, not true, Biff.
Yeah. Okay.
He is a fifth-year player. There are no red shirts anymore. You're either a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, or you're a fifth year. That's what they call them these days.
So Tobias, not to completely pivot from the college game, but this certainly piqued my interest.
John, how excited are you about Tyler Shuck? And that's how you do pronounce his name.
Do it.
Rhymes with, yeah. John, how excited are you about Tyler Shuck this season? He looked good last season.
He did. I saw him against the Jets live and in person. I know it was the Jets. I know, but he was still looked good.
Just for those people who are amongst the uninitiated, Tyler Shuck is the name of the quarterback at the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need some help here, Barry. Let me
played for
see
three different college teams: Oregon, Texas Tech, and Louisville. Didn't exactly light the college world up, but there's a lot of people who like Tyler Shuck, particularly as a fantasy pick.
Yeah.
Because people don't know much about him. He 68% completion percentage last year, 2,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 91.3 QBR.
How about that?
All
All right, now, Barry, I want to make sure I got this gentleman's name correct. I believe Ryan Clark is still employed by ESPN. He's not one of them that got cut, I don't believe.
Oh, he got fired big time. Well,
He
laid
got
off.
fired. He got laid off.
And he is not happy. He says it was because of racism. It was because Ryan Clark, he is done.
Yeah, I'm trying to because I want to make sure I give the right person credit here. But anyway, I was watching channel surfing. Let me make that perfectly clear. I was channel surfing.
Everybody knows.
And stumbled upon NFL Live. It's some like afternoon show or something. I don't know. Maybe I had it on ESPN when I turned the TV on. They were talking.
Yeah.
Booger McFarland was one of the hosts, and I cannot think who the other person would have been.
Marcus Spears, maybe?
No, I know Marcus.
Spears. Yeah, we've had Marcus on. Let's see.
But he was
Dan
recognizable.
Orlovsky. Yeah, Ryan Clark. He was on it.
Yeah.
But he ain't on it no more.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of this. Anyway, they were talking about the NFC South.
Keyshawn.
And Booger was down. He was real high on Tampa Bay. Still going to win it again. I like the Bucks. They're the team. I'm kind of thinking, really?
Right. Sam Acho, Louis Riddick.
Louis Riddick. That's who it was.
I love Louis Riddick.
That was him.
Yeah.
It was Louis Riddick.
All right.
And I've always respected that guy.
He's great.
I like his
I love
analysis. I think he's very smart. Not to say Booger's not. They all are. But they were talking about the NFC South. Booger's just going on and on about Tampa Bay. And then Louis Riddick goes, whoa, stop the presses. He says, no. You guys are way off base. The Saints are winning the NFC South. That's when I turned the volume up.
Whoa.
And that's when I paid more attention. And he had a really good explanation of why he thinks the Saints are going to be good this year. So, Tobias, I'm excited. I've looked over the schedule. It is pretty tough, particularly right out of the gate. I think they're on the road at Minnesota and Baltimore in back-to-back weeks early, which could set the tone. But, maybe a sleeper. I mean, they're talking about playoff team here with the Saints. I'm thinking, oh, okay,
what?
I'm in. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was very high on it. And look, we don't need people talking about us. We don't want to be the buzz out there. So let's just keep it under the radar. Let their actions speak on the field of play and not people hyping them up.
Oof. I don't know. The Saints will open the preseason on August the 15th in week 1 of the preseason against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh.
We'll see what
Barry, they call that the
Superdome.
They call that the free season because you can free up that your bankroll, get it padded for the coming season. So
well, when we come back,
unfortunately, the Saints are on Monday night just one time this fall. But hey,
what does that tell you?
Let's
take a break. When we come back, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
The more you play, the more chances you have to win during Diamond Days all summer long at Victoryland Casino. Win diamond jewelry and your share of $105,000 in free play. Also all summer long, it's TV Tuesdays. Win TVs and your share of $80,000 in free play. Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days and TV Tuesdays with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Oh, yeah. Get in on all the giveaways out at Victoryland. TV Tuesdays, Diamond Days as well. Giving away a BMW in August. We're going to be telling you all about it.
That sounds good. Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Also, they sponsor the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel on Longshore and McKnight. 6 topics, all devised, researched, and curated by Gurn Jr., our producer. John and I have no idea. We love the colors. We love the titles. Let's get to it and see what we got.
Spin away, see what we got.
Where it stops, nobody. John hasn't said that in a while. Scooter. Scooter. I used to have a dog named Scooter.
Really?
Harrison Bader is a well-traveled outfielder now for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Was this in San Francisco yesterday?
I think he's with San Francisco. Yeah, he does play for San Francisco.
Okay.
A scooter crash over the weekend. He has plantar fasciitis. Have you ever had that before, John?
Not that I know of.
I have. It is no joke. Anyway, Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Ooh. Okay, so you're telling me that Harrison Bader was riding a scooter after midnight.
Come on.
And he had a crash. Do not scooter drunk. Do not drive drunk. No. Harrison Bader played at the University of Florida. He was suspended 19 games when he was at Florida after he was involved in a scooter crash in which alcohol was allegedly a factor.
Not good.
Probably was a factor here. Please, people, use your brains. You're making millions of dollars and you're going to ride your scooter drunk after midnight.
Does San Francisco still have that manager that was a guy at Tennessee?
Yeah, Tony Vitello. Yeah. It ain't going well.
Well, it better go well today, Tony.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go, Tony.
The Giants are 17 games under 500 before they host the Brewers in the Phantom's Daily Dog. They're going to do it without Harrison Bader, evidently.
Yes, they are, which probably is good. Probably don't need him.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
Maroon. All right, here we go.
5 more to go.
Right, so Scooter's out.
Plethora of beautiful colors are on the wheel.
Oh, plethora.
Where will it stand? Oh, yellow. Oh.
Get in or get out.
Yeah.
So they used to say. Gianni Infantino tells FIFA, the FIFA is a non-for-profit organization. It's like Salvation Army or something.
Yep.
But they are about to be privately invested, like a lot of college athletic programs are reported to be. FIFA President Infantino says they're going to stop being nonprofit. They're going to create a $20 billion FIFA subsidiary owned by private investors.
Wow.
That would take over. And basically Infantino is saying, you guys better approve this, because if you don't, we'll take the ones that do and we'll go on without you, and you are going to miss out.
Yeah. What was that culture club? You going to miss me blind? I mean, I'm going all 80s today, folks.
You miss me.
Yeah, which is a horrible song. But
well, it's not worse than Karma Chameleon, which is the worst song in the history of ever. Okay, so that is 2 in the books.
That's 2 in the books. 4
Watch
to go.
out for
Victoryland
FIFA.
777 Topic Wheel. Exit 22 off 85 Shorter, Alabama. Open 24/7, 365.
Bad neighbors, you know the kind. Steal your paper, put their trash in your receptacle. West Hollywood, California. a stalled construction site. And they have coyotes. That is a by gosh coyote. It ain't a wolf. A wolf's about twice as big, but they've got coyotes in Hollywood, and they're telling the construction owner to get them out of there. You can look on YouTube, and they've got like coyote hunt videos where they just out there just shooting coyotes all over the place. They're calling it which has been abandoned for 3 years. They're calling it the Coyote Condo.
Oh boy.
Coyotes have moved into this stalled construction site, and they're howling, they're yowling, they're barking, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My gosh, you're living in Hollywood, California. Get some sleep.
Yeah. They're having too many parties there in that abandoned construction zone.
Yeah,
Tone
the
it down.
coyotes are breeding.
Tone it down.
No kidding. All right. Good ones. I like them.
3 more to go. Yellow, blue, and red on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Get me
out.
I
said last time was a Jordan Hare.
Vita Vea is a very good defensive tackle. He is holding out now. He's in the Buccaneers camp. He requested a trade. I think Atlanta's talking about getting him, but he has had he's in the 8th year. I'm sorry, in the final year of his deal. He's an 8-year veteran, and he wants it to be reworked. He's not a great pass rusher, but man, he can plug up the middle. He is a great run stopper. He thinks he's undervalued. He's not practicing for the Bucs. He's holding out. And they'll probably unload him. Again, the Falcons are certainly interested. They need a little help.
I'm hearing that Tua's making some noise over there in
they're
in
saying
Atlanta.
who are we? Somebody on ESPN was saying that right now, if they had to play tomorrow, Tua would be the starting quarterback over Michael Penix, who did have the knee injury last year.
He did. I mean, Tua going up against Shook in a Saint Falcon matchup, man.
The epitome of mediocrity.
Whoa.
They ain't selling tickets. Oh, wait until you see that Tua Shuck matchup. That's what the price is like. No, it ain't.
I'm telling you,
dink and dunk passes.
Get your tickets now before they sell out.
Yeah, but watch out for Vita Vea. He may not stay with Tampa. They may unload him maybe today. 2 left.
The red panel's got to be about us, Barry.
No. It's a dog one. It's a dog video from Gurn Jr., no question. But it's not next. Next one is Sue Me.
Sue Me.
What are you going to do?
Somebody named Sue, I got to say.
Oh, yeah. The Ole Miss. 2 guys transferred to LSU. They were under contract at Ole Miss for what was the deal? Yeah, they're seeking $550,000 from former defensive end Prince Will Imamalian and $400,000 from former guard Devin Harper. Okay. They signed revenue sharing contracts to return to Ole Miss. But then again, LSU gave them a better deal. The University of Mississippi, in a statement, says it values its student athletes and is committed to honoring all obligations made to them. In return, the university expects that same commitment from its student athletes and their representatives in upholding those contracts. 2 things about it. Number one, that's exactly what happened with Darian Mensah when he left Duke. He had a contract with Duke. He broke that biggest day. Miami was offering him a mansion in the country club. His sister was going to be on the soccer team. Those guys were given the opportunity to make good on it. Hey, you pay us the penalty and we'll let you go. Well, they didn't pay the penalty. The other thing about it is that it's going to be tough on Ole Miss if they take the front, that, hey, if you don't, we'll give you a deal, but if you don't, we're going to sue you. Suing your former players while they're still players, there's going to be a lot of people that'll get scared off for that, even though I think Ole Miss is doing the right thing here.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, 1 to go.
This is
got to spin it to make it official.
This is about dogs. It's got to be.
Yeah,
I know Gurn Jr. loves dogs. We've already had a coyote.
Good boys.
Good boys.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah, golden retrievers.
Jumping in the pool.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't jump on her. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, ouch. What's the dog doing on the roof? I can't figure that one out.
He's
This
being
is
helpful.
nice.
I got you. I got you, man. I
Yeah,
got you.
don't you worry.
Yep.
Yeah, you ain't going anywhere. Okay.
All right. Don't.
I ain't going to get that stick.
Oh,
Oh, come
no,
on. Push
that's
the dog over,
embarrassing.
man. Come on.
That's embarrassing. Now watch this dog. Watch the dog. I've seen this one before. That's pretty good, right?
That is. Man, way to go.
Golden retrievers are pretty good dogs.
They're pretty
There's
smart.
No question about it.
They
Yeah.
are pretty smart.
They're great
No
pets.
doubt.
All right. Good dogs.
Like our
Good
viewers
boys.
and listeners, great comments on the River Region Straw Guest Hotline today. We really appreciate that. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. That's really important. We appreciate it. Thanks again to CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News, Paul Feinbaum, ESPN SEC Network for joining us today. Barry, tomorrow we got some big guests as well.
Yes, we've got a couple of that we're working on here. We mentioned earlier in the week, State Representative Chris Blackshear. We're going to try to work on him tomorrow. He's also the longtime sideline reporter for the Troy Sports Radio Network. Talking